Hey, what's going on, everyone? Rob here, deep in the heart of Denver, Colorado. And if you're someone that is just interested in learning everything about Denver, that is eating, breathing, working, playing, sleeping, and really anything like I said, make sure to click the subscribe button as well as a notification right next to that to get notified every single time we upload a brand new video about the Denver area here on the channel. Honestly, we get so many people reaching out that are not relocating. We absolutely love it. So it's what we do on a daily basis. So if you are looking to relocate, move, or just want to come hang out here in Denver, well, I'll leave some links down in the description as well as our contact information on screen. If you're looking to move, we have your back and we want to take care of you. So let's jump into the video. The pros and the cons of living here in Denver, Colorado. We'll start on the cost side. Now, the first column, the list is an interesting one because I think each of these cons have a good side to it as well. The first con is high altitude. Visiting a high altitude climate such as Denver for the first time can have quite the impact on how you feel. I still remember when I went and picked up my friend Matt from the airport. He traveled here from back east. It took him 2 days just to stop feeling tired or exhausted. We didn't even have that much fun at the football game because he was so fatigued from the high altitude. Heavy breathing can also be a symptom of being in this high altitude climate that Denver has to offer. In fact, audience, did you know that Denver is about 5,280 feet above sea level? That is how Denver got the nickname of the Mile High City, because it's a mile above sea level. Being this far above sea level is problematic, especially as it relates to sporting activities and sports franchises. Denver is home of the Broncos football team, the Nuggets basketball team, the Rockies baseball team, and the Avalanche hockey team. It is well known that the Denver teams have a home field advantage built in that most other franchises that they compete with don't have as it relates to being high altitude. It is commonly known that teams will tire out at the end of the games, and that's usually when the Denver teams do their best, and they have some of the highest winning percentages in all of sports. Now, there's downsides for the baseball team because when they travel out of town, they're used to the baseball flying around expeditiously more than what it normally would. So when they travel out of town, they have a hard time hitting the ball because the altitude affects them adversely. Again, Denver teams do have some of the highest winning percentages of any team in the pro circuits. Moving on, I would say the second con is all this darn traffic in Denver. I mean, a big reason for the long traffic lines on the freeway systems and inner city roads is that Denver's road systems are borderline archaic. The main freeway system through Denver, I-25, Interstate 25, and it isn't equipped at this current time to handle the huge influx of people moving into this state, leading to horrific rush hours and backups. Typically, what can be construed as a 25-minute ride can easily turn into an hour and a half drive. Now, I've lived pretty much in the area most of my adult life, and traffic it's not really terrible outside of like the main rush hour time. Only in the morning and at night is traffic really bad. But the thing you don't want to do is you don't want to work north of Denver and then live south of Denver and vice versa. You then could be looking at a 2-hour drive during peak rush hour traffic hours. Why it gets so backed, I'll never be able to tell you, but it's just something where you have to just be a little bit careful, cognizant of, take it into consideration, and understand that some days it may only take you 25 minutes to get to work, and other days it may take you an hour and a half. That's just part of living in Denver. But again, I don't think Denver's much worse than other areas per se, and it's probably a lot better than California. Now, moving on to con number 3, and this is a big adjustment, especially if you're moving here from an area maybe on the East Coast, like the New York City area, or maybe Florida or Georgia or Alabama, where the climate there is typically more moist. Here in Denver, the air is very dry. In fact, we've been nicknamed to live in a climate that is termed a dry heat. Have you ever heard of that? It's just important to understand this so that when you do come here, your skin may be adversely affected. It may be dry, more dry than normal, and it's good to maybe travel with some lotion and lots of materials that help keep your skin moist, especially if you're coming from a climate where the climate is more of a moist air type situation. Now, the good news is after living here for a little while, you should adjust. But for me personally, I have to use lotion every night just because I can't stand to feel like I have dry skin. What is nice though about living in a dry heat is that 29 degrees here feels a lot warmer than 29 degrees in a wet climate. I think it has something to do with that wind chill, and I've heard from people that live back east that it can get so cold that their bones actually ache. Can you believe that? Now, con number 4 would have to be the high cost of living. Denver's cost of living is 12% higher than the national average. Factors such as your career, average salary, the real estate market help determine cost of living. The median home cost in Denver currently is about $421,000, which is just about double the national average of about $200,000. To rent a home, not purchase, but to rent a home, count on paying at least $2,000 to $2,500 per month rent for a single family detached home. And that's minimum. Add to that an average expense of $1,800 per month, and that equates to needing to earn at least about $75,000 a year for a family of 2 to 3 to survive in Denver. The good news is that Denver, Colorado is still much cheaper to live than in, say, California or New York. I promise I'm not going to make this whole video about negative things. I would say that these cons and pros have their good points and their bad points. And I would say weather is both a con and a pro here in Denver. You know, there's lots of snow, and for a few months the weather is really cold, near freezing. I remember one year the snow was so high that I couldn't even see the front side of my house. But then there was a warm front that came through, and a week later almost all the snow was melted. Can you believe that? So what's nice about Colorado is one day the weather can be 20 degrees and snowing and ice and sleet and just bitter cold, and literally the next day you can be out playing football in the front yard with your children. I would say the worst months for cold here in Colorado are typically in January and February. But what makes those months bearable is we still do have days where the skies aren't cloudy. Again, with weather, the pros are we have sunny weather. If we get snow, it doesn't pack, it doesn't accumulate, unlike states like Minnesota. Here it can be 3 inches of snow on the ground one day, and 2 days later the snow is completely gone. The best part about Colorado are the sunny days, the number of sunny days that we have. I don't even know how many days total there are that are sunny, but there's so many more sunny days than there are cloudy days. That's what I love about Colorado. I don't even know how people can stand to live in Seattle, because I get, it's really cloudy there all the time. That would get me depressed. Colorado's so sunny and bright, awesome to live. I would say that, we have, summer, fall, spring, winter, not in that order. So we do have all 4 seasons here. So as long as you have the right clothes, you should be good to go. Of course, in the summertime, you can do shorts and a t-shirt and all that good stuff. And we still venture out and do a bunch of different stuff in the wintertime. And of course, pro number 2, because pro number 1, which is sort of a con as well, was weather, but pro number 2 is actually one of my favorites, as well as my family's, as they get to be really close to a lot of outside living up in the mountains and the foresty areas. And what I mean by that is, you can go to the mountains. Everybody has heard about the Rocky Mountains. They are world renowned and cross over many western states. Obviously, the biggest and best thing about the Rocky Mountains is the skiing it has to offer, and skiing is pro number 3. I can't even begin to tell you about all the different ski areas offered in the Colorado Mountain. My personal favorite is Copper Mountain. It's about an hour drive from Denver. I would say though, plan accordingly. Traffic has gotten to be really bad as far as traveling to and from to go ski. So if you're going to go ski, plan for traffic. Me, myself, though, I I do love Copper Mountain, but I'm not like a fanatic. I don't go skiing every weekend. And probably one of the biggest reasons is those darn ski lifts. They're so high up off the ground. I'm terrified of heights. I'm afraid I'm going to fall out of the lift and onto the ground and die. But anyways, once you do get on the slope, there's nothing like going down a nice black. I mean, where you can just kind of bounce off the little hill things on the hill. I forget what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. But skiing is great exercise. It's fun. You're out in the fresh air, breathing in all that fresh air, and the views are just unbelievable. You have got to come to Colorado to ski. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Amongst one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day, and it's pro number 4, is a relaxing soak in a natural Colorado hot spring mineral pool. It's just what the muscles need at the end of a long day. The natural hot springs, for instance, at Strawberry Park in Steamboat Springs is one of the many natural treasures located in the mountain area. The Strawberry Park Hot Springs, located less than 7 miles from downtown Steamboat, features therapeutic thermal pools with temperatures from 101 to 105 degrees in a rustic mountain setting. Now, my last favorite thing to do in the mountains is pro number 5, and that is riding mountain bikes. My favorite spot to ride mountain bikes is in Rocky Mountain National Park's 415 square miles. Can you believe that? 415 square miles. The park is a short drive from Denver. Landscapes on either side of the Continental Divide feature alpine lakes, forested valleys, and a wide range of plants and animals. Iconic summer thunderstorms, persistent winter winds are among the forces that continue to shape this majestic landscape. Enjoy Trail Ridge Road with crests over 12,000 feet, including many overlooks to experience the subalpine and alpine worlds, along with over 300 miles of hiking trails, wildflowers, wildlife, starry nights, and fun times. In a world of superlatives, Rocky Mountain is on top. If you are someone that is looking to move or relocate or just hang out with us here in Denver, we are going to leave all of our information on screen as well as the description below. Send us an email, shoot us a text, give us a call. That way we can get in touch with you and we can send you information. We can plan to meet you and take you on tours. We can talk to you via text or phone or email and answer any questions you may have about Colorado. And if you're moving here to Denver, don't forget, we have your back. We absolutely love helping people. It's what we do every single day, and that is we help people find homes to live in, buying and selling residential homes. And guess what? We're good at it. So with all that being said, guys, my name is Rob Meissner here from Denver. If you have any questions, let us know down in the comments below. We'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao.